All right, thank you, Madam Clerk and Deputy Clerk. Welcome everyone to the Clearview Township of Clearview Council meeting for Monday, August the 11th, 2025. It's been a very warm day. Your council has already met at 3 o'clock today. We had an in-camera session which lasted till about approximately 5 o'clock, and now council is meeting now at the 5:30 hour to continue our regular meeting. We'll welcome, of course, members of our staff that are here, and we welcome members of the public who are online joining us. We'd also like to begin our meeting by recognizing the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people of Canada as the traditional stewards and caretakers of the land. We acknowledge that Clearview Township is located within the boundaries of Treaty 18, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the Tiatanati, and the Wendat, and is the home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people as part of the intricate nationhood that reaches across Turtle Island. At this time of truth and reconciliation, we welcome the opportunity to work together towards new understandings and new relationships and ask the Creator for guidance in all that we do. Again, the land acknowledgement is always said by myself as mayor, and I'm very happy to do so, and I do so voluntarily. Now, council, as I said, did meet in camera, so item number 1 is already completed. Moving to our next portion of the agenda is approval of the agenda for today's meeting. This is recommendation, be it resolved that council of the Township of Clearview hereby approve the agenda dated August the 11th, 2025 as presented. May I have a mover? Mr. Broderick, Mr. MacArthur. Thank you. Is there any questions or additions, subtractions to the agenda? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you, council. Declarations of pecuniary interest. Does anybody have any declarations for the open session of the meeting? Mr. Van Stavern?
I have a declaration in regards to the closed session of the meeting. At that time, I'll step back.
Okay, thank you. We have an item 8.1, right?
Correct.
Okay, and Phyllis Deneen, did you have one?
Just that I wasn't here for the last meeting, so I won't be voting on the agenda minutes.
Oh, on the minutes?
The minutes,
Oh,
yes.
sure,
Thank
that's
you.
your prerogative. Thank you very much. Thank you, council. Last one is that I also have a conflict during the in-camera portion of the meeting. And so an interest, so I was not part of that discussion. And so I will not vote on that item when it gets brought forward during 8.1. All right, so at this time, we will move forward to public participation period. Is there any member of the public? No, there are no members of the public generally in the vicinity at this time who wish to speak at the public participation. I'll just confirm with our deputy clerk. Deputy clerk, were there any public participation periods submitted electronically?
Thank you, Your Worship. No, there were no qualifying submissions this week.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, just to remind the public, of course, that council meetings are held at 5:30 and the space is available for the public to come and ask questions during the public participation period, and the rules are pretty clearly outlined on there and how that works. Council, we're going to move on to item number 5 then, delegations, presentations, there are none, and item number 6, public meetings, there are none. Item number 7 is the approval of the council meeting minutes, and as Councillor Deneen indicated, she's not going to participate. That's fine. Recommendation be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby approve the minutes of July 28, 2025 council meeting as presented. Can I get that moved by Mr. Beelan? Thank you. Mr. Walker, thank you. Is there any questions about the minutes? Mr. Broderick, all good? Just checking. Thank you, sir. All right. Nothing further? All those in favor? And that carries. Thank you. All right. Now, we're going to move to correspondence information items. We do have the closed session report, item number 8.1. As a result of Mr. Van Stavern and myself, the mayor, having conflicts, Madam Clerk, would you please record that I've passed the chair to Councillor Walker. Councillor Walker will conduct the 8.1 resolutions to give our closed session meeting reports. Is that okay? Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Your Worship. Resolutions for closed session to introduce under 8.1. We have 3. Number 1, potential property purchase, and I believe Deputy Mayor is in conflict with this. Be it resolved that Council on the Township of Clearview hereby direct staff to act in accordance with the direction provided in closed session regarding the potential property purchase. Mover and seconder. Councillor MacArthur, Councillor Broderick. All in favor? Carried. Deputy Mayor, may return to the table. Number 2, wastewater infrastructure. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby directs staff to act in accordance with the direction provided in closed session regarding wastewater infrastructure. Mover and seconder, Mayor, Measures, and Councillor Janine. All in favor? Carried. Number 3, Mayor Measures. Be it Human Resources Matter. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby direct staff to act in accordance with the direction provided in closed session regarding the Human Resources Matter. Mover and seconder, Deputy Mayor, Councillor Beelin. All in favor? Motion carried. I now will return back to your worship.
Thank you very much, Councillor Walker. Appreciate that. All right, Council. We do have a resolution here that is on for 8.2. Now, I wanted to speak to this if I could. I asked if this could be added to our agenda. I'll look for a mover and seconder once we get past this. How about I read the full resolution and then I'll ask for a mover and seconder. Okay. The resolution says, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Clearview recognizes that Honda Canada has been a long-standing partner and major employer to Simcoe County, including residents from Clearview, employing approximately 4,200 people directly and supporting an estimated 30,000 indirect jobs. And with this recognition, Clearview Council supports the request from the town of New Tecumseh to the federal government to revise the zero-emission vehicle mandate to include the non-plug-in hybrid vehicles as fully eligible vehicles in the effort to support Honda and other Canadian auto manufacturers that are facing increased challenges due to global market pressures, U.S. tariffs, and the exclusion of non-plug-in hybrid vehicles from Canada's ZEV mandate. And that this support resolution be forwarded to the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, Simcoe County Municipalities, and Simcoe Grey MPP Terry Dowdle. Mover and seconder, please. Deneen, thank you. Broderick, thank you. I'd like to speak to it first, and that would just say that I was invited by His Worship Mayor Norcross of New Tecumseh to join the auto mayors of Simcoe County group. Our group of mayors are very concerned about the auto industry across Simcoe County and how jobs are going to be affected by what we outlined here in this ask regarding U.S. tariffs, but particularly the federal government zero emission vehicle plan mandate that they have that will bring, frankly, an end to the production of internal combustion engine passenger vehicles. And so while it's an honorable and worthy effort, the challenge that we recognize as mayors and as representatives of our community are that the hybrid vehicle is the vehicle that currently suits the needs in Canada the best, given that the infrastructure for full charging capabilities has not really been fully played out or fully integrated across the country. These plug-in vehicles, it's estimated that, if everyone drove a plug-in vehicle today, that our hydro grid would simply not be able to handle carrying the number of vehicles that are on the road. It just wouldn't mathematically work out, and the electric grid needs to be fully updated. So you might recall there was quite a letter that was written to the federal government asking them to consider infrastructure projects to upgrade hydro distribution systems across Canada, and this would, be in support of the zero emission vehicles in the future. But for now, if the hybrid vehicle, the non-plug-in hybrid vehicle, gets integrated into our system, it will help achieve some type of recognition of, lower emissions as well as fuel economy for the owners of these vehicles. So this letter that was prepared and this ask of support from our council would come from both our council as well as many other councils across Simcoe County that are looking for this similar thing. So that's what I wanted to say on this. Thank you very much for allowing me to put this on the agenda. Has anybody got any questions or comments they'd like to bring up? Seeing none, may I call the resolution then? All those in favor? Thank you. That carries unanimous. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, would you be able to distribute this letter as per the direction? Thank you. All right, guys, we're going to move directly over to item number 9, which is our council reports and committee announcements. The little sign has fallen down here, so I'm going to assume it's going to go to Broderick. Is that right? Walker, Broderick, who's up first? Walker's up first. He's taken the lead. Thank you very much.
First time I've been first in my life, so here we go, eh?
Well, with a name like W. Walker.
You're always
I'm
at the last, I know that.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, not a whole lot for ward report other than I was able to spend August the 2nd, the Saturday, pretty well up at the missionary or the Stainer campgrounds for the 100th anniversary. And I just want to say to the organizers, they did a fantastic job in preparation and setting up all the day's events. It was just a great afternoon. Weather was good. The activities were great. And there was a good crowd up there too. It was very well attended. So you just say congratulations on 100 years in Stainer, and thanks for the job well done. That's it, Your Worship.
Thank you, Your Worship. Robert, I'm glad we're not changing our name to Clearby. That sounds like a tongue twister. I don't have much. August 6th, the Clearview Climate Action Committee Advisory Committee met, and we're making some progress, and that's all I have.
Great. Thank you very much. Good to see you, Mr. Beelan. And Councillor Deneen.
Thank you, Your Worship. I guess on Sunday, the Station 6 had their fun fair.
Yes.
And I'm sorry I missed it, but there was a dunk tank, so I probably was good to stay away from there. And I was over at the ballpark all weekend watching baseball at the Nottawa 3 pitch. And that went right until 4 o'clock that day. So I was in Nottawa, but just not over at the station, and I apologize for that. I heard last weekend, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Stainer Hitman under 15 lacrosse team won the provincials.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, so I hadn't heard it anywhere either.
all right.
So I'm looking for someone to confirm that. I think that's a great accomplishment. Now,
I hadn't heard that. That's just terrific. Good.
lacrosse is really taken over, and in Ottawa, a lot of the kids are doing that as well. So just hope everyone's managing to stay cool, and that's the end of mine. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Councillor. And thanks for that. That's great news. Good job on the firefighters too, by the way. I did not get the call for the dunk tank either. Fair enough. Deputy Mayor, you're up next.
Thank you, Your Worship. As Councillor Walker said, the group of us, the mayor and myself, were involved with that Stainer Missionary Camp celebration of the 100th anniversary. We got the opportunity to speak and help eat some of the cake, and it was a nice thing. And people don't realize a lot of them what impact that camp has in the community, both from a business point of view, employees, local people, and brings a lot of people to our area. So it's really nice. I actually, and Councillor Deneen, just so you know, I did use your reference that you came as a little girl to the camp. So I hope you don't mind. Anyway, they asked me how long ago that was, and I said just a while ago. Okay. Today, some of our group also were at Reinhardt's for their tour and also a discussion on business opportunities and stuff. And it was very, very well received, both from our part and their part. And I just remind people this Friday, the new Clearview Family Dental is opening. And what better opportunity to eat ice cream than to go there. So they're offering, that's what they're promoting. So as a person who appreciates ice cream, there'll be a bunch of us there doing a ribbon cutting anyway. So anyways, that's all I have to offer right now.
Thank you very much. That's great. Councillor MacArthur.
I'll be there now.
Yeah, ice cream is on the agenda.
Ice cream's on the agenda. Thank you, Your Worship. Last Thursday, we had another evening hall meeting and Terry was there to update us, and let's say we're not holding our breath. There's been a few setbacks between supply chain and contractor difficulties, but they promise it will be done for our first event on October 4th. So that's coming together. Saturday, I'm not sure, I didn't run anybody else, went out to the gathering of the classics. I was a little late getting there, but terrific day. It looked like an awful big crowd. And just on behalf of myself and Scott and Jeff, thank you to those who came and toured Reinhardt's today. That's all I got.
Thank you very much. I also was at the Classics. Didn't see you there, but it was a good event. Mr. Broderick.
Thank you, Your Worship. Pretty light one for me. Today, I also partook in the Reinhardt Foods tour. Wednesday, we're going to have the volunteer appreciation event. And Friday, I'm looking forward to the ribbon cutting at Stainer Dental.
Excellent. All of those events and more. It's fantastic. Thank you. I do want to mention the 100th anniversary of the Stainer Camp. Evergreen Ministries, the chap who spoke when we were there, I had a nice conversation with him afterwards, and he acknowledged that as best he could tell, this would be the only community in Ontario that has a camp like that right in the center of town. It's the only one that he can think of. And I got thinking about it a little bit over the weekend. I can't find it in my mind another community that has a campground that's been around for like 100 years, still in the center of their community. So pretty impressive that this organization still exists and does a great job. And they're there even in bad weather too. They were mentioning that they're actually, the chief might appreciate this, they're adding some generators and so on to their big hall to be available for any wintertime evac type situations that might be needed. So that's one of the things they are doing as well in that facility. So I thought that was kind of nice, but what a great event and what a great facility for us to have right here in our community. I do want to mention the Gathering of Classics, an annual event, aircraft and boats this year, and classic cars, and participation from many service clubs. There were a Kinsman Club of Stainer was there. The Lions Club of Elmvale was there. There was a whole bunch of clubs all servicing that event. But I must say, the volunteers were just spectacular. When I pulled in, they were all happy, even though that they were, in the heat. When the guy recognized my shirt, I was wearing my ball cap with Clearview. He said, "Hey, you're from Clearview?" "Yes." And he says, "I want to thank you guys for these tents. They're keeping us all cool." And so that's such a good thing. We had a couple of tents just in the parking lot to help the volunteers there. So that was great. And our tents were spread out all over the site. Really well organized event. It was really a neat event. I saw some young families, touch and feel around aircraft and talking to pilots. And I ran into Michelle from our library, who was there with those little pedal car airplanes. And it was quite neat because there was a triplane, that looks like the Red Baron's World War I aircraft, full scale one, or full flying version of it. And she had a model one of it, and a little girl was pedaling it. So they got the two planes together for a photo, which I thought was pretty neat, So anyway, they did that. But yeah, the volunteers just did a great job, and it was great to chat with some old pilots out there, and really good event. I'm really happy that it continues. They had terrific weather, although it was a little warm. Then understand, speaking to some of our volunteer fire crews that were there, they had a couple of medical calls actually on site because it was so hot. People were just collapsing. So they did their best there, of course, and I didn't hear there's any serious incidents, but certainly it's enough to get some attention, and glad that our crews are there to help. Well done, Reinhardt's again. They've made some significant investments into our community here. They've improved their facility quite a bit. Their efficiency level is very good. They've demonstrated that their investments is paying off with a lot of stainless steel pipe that's been installed, and changed some of the way they move some of the functions around. But they're also very environmentally conscious. I noted from today's tour that they take a great deal of pride in looking after the effluent water that comes out of the place that goes through a full filtering system before it actually enters our wastewater treatment plant. And so I was interested that they were doing that and doing a really good job with it, and very conscious of their role as a major contributor to our community, but also as a major contributor to the wastewater treatment operations we have. So I'm glad that they're doing that to help protect the operation there. So really good to meet them, see them, and to see the tour, and to see the energy that they're putting in, and thankful that they continue to operate here in our great community. Coming up this week, there's a couple things that's already been mentioned. One I do want to mention is late on Thursday afternoon. I just got this, by the way, between meetings here today, that Minister Thompson is going to be in town, and I'm going to be visiting with her at Duntroon Cidery. She's doing something at Duntroon Cidery. And so I got a little note to come and join her in the afternoon out there. So I'm not exactly sure what it's about, but I'm going to find out a little bit more. So MPP Saunderson and Minister Thompson are going to be in town. So I'm going to visit with them at the cider place in Duntroon. So we'll do that this week. Next week, folks, we are at the AMO conference, and I look forward to seeing those that are there. And we are always interested in the content that happens at the AMO conference. The agenda looks pretty full. There's a lot of different meetings and different sort of good content of speakers that we want to go see. So it's going to be a busy time in Ottawa. Let's hope that the weather breaks a little bit, because it's nothing worse than putting on your full suit and tie and jackets, which I have not worn since June, to go to these meetings and be in Ottawa where it's pretty warm. So we'll see. Maybe Marty, I'll be allowed to wear shorts. What do you think? Sure, that'd be great. Okay, that's all I have at this time. Look forward to seeing you, those that are going. Those that are remaining, look after the township for us. Appreciate it. Council, we're going to move on to item number 10, which is our department reports. Our first one is the Planning and Building Department. And we've got a report here, PB 028-2025, a zoning bylaw amendment regarding the region of Huronia. You might recall that public meeting that we had. So the recommendation is, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PB 028-2025 zoning bylaw amendment for region of Huronia dated August 11, 2025. And item 1, that the zoning bylaw for the lands municipally known as 10367 County Road 10 be presented to council for approval at the August 11, 2025 meeting. Very good. Can I ask for a mover and seconder? Deneen and Walker, thank you very much. And is there any questions, or actually, sorry, staff, do you have anything you want to add to that? Anything?
Sure.
Over here.
I'm over
Okay.
here.
Danielle. First of all, Danielle's sitting up at the table here. It's good
No.
to see you over here.
Thank you.
Good for you.
The comfy chair.
I'm glad they made some room for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So like you said, you've heard about this application a couple times over the last year. The region of Huronia is looking to expand their sewage treatment lagoon facility, as well as construct a new operations shop. So the official plan amendment has been approved by the county with several changes. With these changes, we've also made some changes to the zoning bylaw amendment that was initially presented to you in February, just to make sure that we're consistent with those county changes to the official plan. This is mainly the change from waste management industrial zone and designation to an agricultural zone and designation, with the exception to add the permitted uses. I've provided the red line version of the zoning bylaw amendment and the official plan amendment, just so you can see those changes with my report. And the bylaw is later in the agenda, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Members of council, any questions to, yes, go ahead, Paul.
Thank you. Danielle, when I was reading the report, I was really questioning, why do they rezone it or change it from waste to agricultural? Like, we already took the land out of agricultural use. Are they treating waste now as an agricultural product, or what's their logic?
Thank you. So it actually has to do within the PPS that they want everything to remain agricultural and just add it as an exception instead of changing the designation. So we're just trying to keep everything consistent with that.
So the sludge that goes into these tanks is considered now an agricultural product versus a waste product? Is that as well?
No, so it would be like a non-agricultural use that is currently being used. And so when eventually they finish with this use, it would automatically go back to the agricultural use. So that we would remove that exception later on.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Is there other questions? Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you, Danielle, for your presentation then. Members of council, you have a motion in front of you with a mover and seconder. I am prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? All those in favor? Yes, thank you. That does carry unanimous. I just want to confirm. All right, thank you. And I'm looking now to move to PB 030. This is the draft plan of subdivision extension, Ashton Meadows, which is the subdivision near Margaret Street. Now, council, the resolution says, be it resolved that council of the Township of Clearview hereby Receive report PB 030-2025, the draft plan of subdivision extension for Ashton Meadows Phase 1 dated August 11, 2025. Item 1, that council approve the extension of the Ashton Meadows Phase 1 draft plan of subdivision being file number 2018 012 SD for an additional 5-year period, and approve amendments to the existing draft plan conditions as outlined in Schedule D to this report, and that notice be given in accordance with the Planning Act. And item 2, that council direct staff to update and provide the amended draft plan conditions for council's review and approval before the end of 2025 in accordance with the Planning Act. Okay, is there a mover and seconder to put this on the floor? Mr. Broderick, thank you. Is there a seconder? Mr. MacArthur, thank you. All right, who would like to speak to this? Oh, Nick. Oh, my goodness. Nick's even taking the seat down too.
Yep, thank you, Worship.
All right, Madam Clerk, we're going to have to renovate once again. We need more seats, more seats. Okay.
Thank you, Worship. Yeah, so just probably a little bit of a background. So the current, as part of the recommendation, the current request we have before us is for a 5-year draft plan extension to the existing plan of subdivision known as Ashton Meadows Phase 1. So subject lands are located in the southern portion of the township. They're just east of County Road 42 and south of Margaret Street. The subdivision first received draft plan approval in 2010, and it's been subsequently extended for twice. This would be the third. So that was done in 2015 and 2020. The current lapse date is August 27th, 2025, so it is coming up. If it was approved tonight, the 5-year extension would expire on August 11th, 2030. So based on staff's review, we are recommending the 5-year extension for the current approval. Since that time, the applicant has proceeded with the first subphase of development in 2021, which was for the first 72 units, water course, channel block, open space block, as well as stormwater management facilities. They do have a remainder of 152 units, but they are held up by some capacity issues. They do require kind of substantial external servicing improvements in order to service the site and that component of it. So we did think that the 5-year extension was reasonable in this current circumstance. In terms of so that was the first recommendation. Number 1 was for the 5-year extension. Staff are also recommending a second recommendation, and that is for council direct staff to update and provide amended draft plan additions to council at a subsequent council meeting. So typically this process is done as a part of the updated extension process. However, due to the existing timeframes associated with when we receive the notice or the request for extension and the current lapsing date and existing meeting periods, staff do not have enough time due to the technical nature of the review required. However, under section 5144 of the Planning Act, council at its discretion is able to change conditions as they see fit. So we are seeking to do those updates, and we present those changes to you at a subsequent meeting for your review. But in order to ensure that the approval doesn't lapse in the interim, we are requesting that 5-year extension with the amended or changed conditions to come forward prior to 2025. And again, I'm here to ask any additional questions you may have.
All right. Thanks very much, Nick. That's enlightening information you've added there. Appreciate that. Members of council, do you have any questions to Nick? I see Paul. Anybody else? Go right ahead, Mr. Van Stavern.
Nick, when I was reading the report, I was a bit taken back when their planner used, I'll quote it, complexity and scope of engineering condition and servicing components. And like, to me, that looks like a smoke and mirrors sort of comment. They can't get it done. Or can you comment on that? Because that letter was written to you. So.
Yes, so as part of the justification provided by the applicant, that was one of the justifications, as well as I believe that market conditions were also a challenge for them. Staff do recognize for this one, there are some substantial external improvements that are required for servicing to bring capacity, to bring the ability to bring capacity to the site. So in terms of the requirements, I do agree in some aspects that it is, there is complications to it. And then again, similarly, since they are limited by the current servicing capacity, which we do have a solution to, but that won't be ready for to the end of 2027, we do find it reasonable to do the extension.
Okay, which I don't disagree with the extension, but you still have under part 1, they still have 170 homes available to be built on right now, correct?
In terms of exact number, I believe they've built the first, there's draft plan approved for 224 units in total. They've built 72. So I believe it's 152 remaining units. So they would require a capacity for the remaining units before
Do
proceeding.
they have the capacity? Have we issued permits for them already?
No, so they don't have, so we've not for the remaining 152. And as a part of that, they do require the external work. So even if they had the capacity, they still require those external works to
Okay, so
proceed.
Okay, so my comment, I guess, come down because over the last year and a half, 2 years, we've received as council a lot of complaints about that subdivision in regards to spring runoff and stuff like that. I think you would be wise to, if you're going to enter into the new agreements and stuff, make it a condition that they clean up Margaret Street and clean up some of that stuff so we don't have to receive the complaints anymore. There's no need. They can go ahead and do a lot of the, I'll say the external stuff before they start building again, because the people who live on Margaret Street, we don't like hearing their complaints. So see what you can do.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Members of council, thank you, Paul. Is there anything else, members? Nobody? I just want to support what the deputy mayor was suggesting there. And I think through Nick, through your presentation, indicating that you're going to bring forward a separate report with amended draft plan conditions. And at council's will, we can review some of those conditions underneath the Planning Act. So thank you for that. And I must say, as the mayor, I'd be very interested in some of those to see that would perhaps address some of the concerns of the residents of Margaret Street today, who have in fact contacted a lot of us on council, seems like for years, about getting some work done there. So I know that we have dealt with some of those issues over there. So let's hope that we can continue to work with the contractor and the property owner there and get some of this wrapped up in with your report. Would you give us a possible idea as to when that may occur before the end of 2025? You're not going to drop this on us on December 3rd or something like that?
No, that's not the intent. I can advise that Public Works is currently reviewing the conditions as a part of the process. Like I said, if we did have a little bit more time, we would have hoped to have done it as a part of this report. But perhaps I could speak to Public Works for it, but in the next few months, basically, but prior to the end of 2025, but
Okay.
not a Christmas surprise, hopefully.
I appreciate that. Perhaps Mr. Perot, would you like to comment on this?
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. And I just might add that Ms. Kennedy in my department has been working diligently on improving and revamping our template draft conditions, I'll say. And just because of the timing when we received the application for the renewal, she hadn't had time to fully go through them, to update them into our, what I'll call our new standard template. So that's the reason why it's not on this, but like Nick said, we'll continue to work through them and get them here as soon as possible with some of our new and improved conditions and conditions that are a bit more up to date than they were 15 years ago.
All right. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. All right. If there's nothing further from members, council, thank you very much for your report and for this information. Nothing further, I'm prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, council, moving over to PB 031, 2025, the proposed new building bylaw and schedules. There's two appendixes attached to that, which are good documents to read, to be quite honest. So the simple resolution, I think, is right here in front of us. It says, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PB 031, 2025, the proposed new building bylaw and schedules dated August 11, 2025 for information. Can I get a mover and seconder, please? Broderick once again, and Deneen again. Thank you. Okay, Mr. McLeod, do you have anything you want to add to your report?
Just to highlight that it is a follow-up report from our public meeting that we had on July 28th. The public meeting itself was specifically to deal with our one of the schedules, Schedule B, that deals with the amended fees. But overall, the entire building bylaw is being updated. And I'd certainly entertain any questions that council may have.
All right, thank you. Members of council, do you have any questions to staff on this issue? All right, seeing none, thank you very much, Scott, for a good report. Council, you have a motion in front of you. I am prepared to call it. All those in favor? That carries unanimous. All right, moving on. Council, we're on page 5, Legislative Services, application for a tile drain. Boy, I'd like to know how much water is going through a tile drain right now, since we haven't had rain and it's like forever. Like, wow, I guess it's smart to put the drains in. I suppose it is, but there's no rain. I wish we had rain. Okay, council, recommendation be it resolved that council of the township of Clearview hereby receive report LS 016-2025 application for a tile drain loan. This will be at 6231 Concession Road 6, Sunnydale, and dated August 11, 2025. Item 1, that council approve the application submitted by Barry Lightheart on behalf of Lightheart Welding and Repairs, Inc., in the amount of $50,000 for a tile drain loan for the property municipally known as 6231 Concession Road 6, Sunnydale, previously known as 2423 Centerline Road, Stainer, in accordance with the Minister of Agriculture, Food, and Rural Affairs procedures. Okay, a mover and seconder, please. Mr. MacArthur, thank you, and Mr. Walker, thank you. All right. I just want to make a quick comment. When these are written up, it should always say that the property located at Concession Road 6, Sunnydale, now in the township of Clearview, should always be included in this somewhere. Is there any questions to the clerk? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. I know this program is administered by the Ministry of Agriculture and Food and Rural Affairs. I see it says the Township of Clearview does not currently charge a tile drain inspection fee within its fees and charges bylaw. Dan, I think you are the drainage superintendent for our township. Do you have to inspect the drainage when we are doing a tile loan?
Go ahead, Dan.
Through your worship, to Deputy Mayor, I would typically inspect the outlet only. So I don't inspect the tiles. It's on private property, but I'll inspect the outlet.
And that's only for ones that are getting a tile loan.
No, typically, like if they're just tiling their field and not requiring a loan, they'll still require an inspection of the outlet.
Okay.
Just to ensure that, whether typically outlet it into a ditch or, some sort of water course or maybe another municipal drain, then, it just requires that inspection there.
Okay, well, just out of interest, so we do not charge any fees for doing any of this work right now?
No.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good technical question. Is there anybody else with any questions? Any other members? No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Dan. Is there anything you want to add? No? Nothing from you?
It's Krista's.
Excuse me. Krista, if you got anything you'd like to add to your report regarding the tile drain loan?
Thank you, Your Worship. No, there's nothing else I'd like to add.
I didn't think so. That's great. Thank you very much. Council, I've got a motion in front of you. I'm prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to move to item 11, which is our bylaws. Okay, so we've got a few bylaws in here, things to catch up on, things that have been moved from one meeting to the next. Bylaw 2549. This is the amend the appointment bylaw 22-101 to remove Nottawa Hall Board members. Recommendation be it resolved that bylaw 2549 being a bylaw to amend Schedule A of bylaw 22-101 appointing members to the Township of Clearview committees and boards be presented about a first, second, and third time, finally passed on the 11th day of August 2025. Moved by Mr. Walker. Thank you. Seconded by Mr. Beelan. Thank you very much. You've got the bylaw in front of you. Is there any questions to the bylaw? No? I want to thank the volunteers that served on there. I do know that one of them will probably be back after she deals with a family concern. So that's the good news out of the bad news right there. Nevertheless, thank you. Is there nothing further? Then I'm prepared to call the bylaw. All those in favor? And the bylaw carries. Thank you. Building bylaw 2550. Okay, be it resolved that bylaw 2550 being a bylaw under the Building Code Act respecting permits and related matters be presented and read a first, second, and third time, finally passed on the 11th day of August 2025. Moved by Deneen, seconded by the Deputy Mayor. And any questions on the bylaw? You have the bylaw in front of you? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All those in favor? And the bylaw carries. Thank you. Zoning bylaw amendment for 10367 County Road 10. Recommendation, be it resolved that bylaw 2551, being a bylaw to regulate the use of lands and character, location, and use of building structures on lands municipally known as 10367 County Road 10, be presented, read a first, second, and third time, finally passed on the 11th day of August, 2025. Mover, please. Mr. Broderick, Mr. MacArthur. Thank you. And you've got the bylaw in front of you. Any questions on the bylaw? Seeing none. All those in favor? And the bylaw carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 12 is our notice of motion and new business. Any members? Yes. Mr. Beelan.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Collingwood today reports that the Stainer Hitman under 15 team did indeed win the provincial.
Well done.
And just looking up a few other towns with the campground in the middle of town, include Midland, Meaford, and Port Elgin.
Midland. I totally forgot about Midland. It's beautiful there. Little Lake Park. I didn't think there was camping still there. Is there still camping there? I'm not sure if there is camping. But nevertheless, I knew about Meaford. But yeah. Okay. Thanks for looking that up. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Worship. I just, I want to bring up a conversation that will be new business or can be new business. We're getting a lot of calls about the acquisition of land out in Sunnydale Township.
Yes.
And it is not, we do not know a lot or anything much about it other than the public knows right now. I'm sure we'll have some discussions when we're in Ottawa this coming week, but it will be something that will be coming forward, Your Worship, and we will be dealing with. But for those people who are communicating with us, we don't know any more than the public does right now. So if you want to add to that a little bit, maybe.
Thank you for that opportunity. And it is new business. It certainly is going to be coming to this council table in the future. At this time, there is nothing new to report than other than been reported in the local media and by the press release that came from the Department of National Defense. I can share that it is confirmed that I have requested a closed door workshop with all members of council and the representatives of DND to explain what the project is, so that all members of this council will be able to be updated on it. I'm in great hope that that'll happen prior to them hosting a public session, which is coming in September sometime. Not really sure, but let's just say in the first couple of weeks. I'm hoping it's before the GNE, to be honest, because you know what'll happen, folks. We'll be at the GNE and everybody will be asking us a million questions. We don't have any answers. So that's the status at this time. I know we're working with the clerk's department to try to get an in-camera workshop session with them. I'm not sure when that's going to develop. I'm confident it will be a Zoom meeting. It will not be in person because they're all in Ottawa. So we'll see. That's about all I can tell you because that is really all I know. Okay.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think that's fair. And we will be watching for it for the interest of Clearview and its residents. But as of right now, we can't say too much. So we don't know anything to say. So we'll keep watching for it.
We don't know anything to say, and that's the biggest problem.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much for that discussion. Now, we are at the item 13, the confirmatory bylaw. Be it resolved, the council bylaw 2552, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the August 11, 2025 council meeting, be presented and read a first, second, and third time, finally passed 11th day of August 2025. Deputy Mayor, Mr. MacArthur, thank you. All those in favor? And that carries unanimous. Anything else before the motion to adjourn? Music Market and Parket? It's this week? Another one? You were there this past week, right? I couldn't make it. So it was good? Yeah, it was busy. Oh, yeah, it's always fun. It's always fun.
Who's this week? Ray Road 1 was last week or this week?
No, last week, it's Sherry Jackson. Oh, the Sherry Jackson Band. That'll be fun. Yeah, she's great. All right, members of council, motion to adjourn is at 6:15. We'll call it. Moved by Denis, seconded by Beelan, and all those in favor. And we are adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy your day.